Good evening, everybody. For a lot of you, it's very early in the morning. Welcome for another session of exploring the Mahavidya goddess and Tantra. Now, what we're going to do today is Mahavidya within women and how we men can support women. Remember that women are the source of energy. They are carrier of energy. In every Hindu rituals, women play a very important part because they are blessed with their channels open and they have their wisdom gives them the power. So when you look at women, you look at a goddess. Last week or the week before, when I was talking about it, I talked about Sakthi. A woman on earth is Sakthi, which means she represents power. So we as men, there's two of you here, men, today, which is good. We as men need that power that women can give us. But to receive their power, we have to honor them. We as men have to help them regain their power. That the whole system, like the church, the mosque, everybody took away from them. And basically using religion to control them. Not religion is supposed to allow people freedom and empowering. Instead of that, in the modern context, religion has been not empowering us, but actually reducing our capacity. Because the minute you reduce a woman's capacity, she becomes weaker. When she's weak, she's not able to be a very responsive first guru. So all the problems that we have in the universe today, in society, is because 5,000 years ago they started, but the last 2,000 years ago, they actually put the first nail on a woman, making women become a secondary. I mean, the Bible verse says this. It also says that the woman was a sinner. First of all, there's no such thing as sin. When there is no such thing as sin, how can a woman sin? Number two, they talk about the serpent telling Eve to eat the apple from the middle of the Garden of Eden. The serpent represents, in most mythology, as your spine. So it is basically what she felt within her that she responded to. Okay, and the apple in the middle of the Garden of Eden. How can there be a middle in a circle? The earth is round. If the earth is square, you can create a middle point. But when the earth is round, how do you create a middle point? Every spot on a circle is the center. Any point you put a needle and you hold it up, it'll be balanced, which means every point in a round circle is a center point. So there can't be an apple in the middle of the Garden of Eden. But if any of you who learned art would know, when you want to draw a human body, you draw a line across, line down, horizontal, and then vertically you draw another line. And this line is drawn at your second chakra. And then you have another line drawn, the neck and the head above. So the middle of the Garden of Eden is actually the Yoni and the Lingam. If you look at the Yoni, you see it more. You see a forest, you see everything. And then when you cut an apple into half, it looks like the sacred vagina. So the apple is not only a symbolic. And then they said that women sinned. If women sinned in the Adam and Eve story, then God was wrong for creating man with a lingam and a woman with a yoni, which is not true. God created for a purpose so that we would be, you and I here. This is God's intention, because if you look at the Bible again, may I have many. I'm not very good at this academic things, but it is say something that God wanted to see plenty. So he wanted to see plants, animals, humans, not just Adam and Eve. So the whole principle is basically to suppress women. Whereas in Tantra, we consider women very highly. We consider women to be more powerful than men. As far as initiation is concerned, we find that they are the carrier of energy. Why is a woman a carrier of energy, not a man? Because of motherhood, the channels are open. So the question is this: even whether you're a mother or you're not a mother, your channels are still open. From your second chakra to your crown chakra, it's completely open. Because all the information that comes into the womb, when a child is being in the womb, because the planet has to put information into the womb, the goddesses, the Mahavidya goddesses. Now, with men, the Mahavidya goddesses are in different points of the body. With women, they're also in the different points of the body, but more so in the yoni. Why do they have to be in the yoni? Now, when you talk about yoni, it's not just vagina. It's a whole reproductive organ, from the gateway to the top of the organ. Why are they there mainly? Because you know why? They have to create you and me. They are the divine architect within the womb. So when we talk about womb, we talk about womb Shakti, we talk about, sacred womb and all this. First of all, if we want to talk about the subject, we need to know the Mahavidya goddesses. If we don't know the Mahavidya goddesses, then we cannot be promoting the sacred womb. Okay, these goddesses existed in most traditions, except it got lost. The coming of Christianity got rid of a lot of them, and then Islam came and did worse. Even they tried, even in India. They used to break down temples and, smash statues because with Indian statues, most of the goddesses are seen naked. Then you can go and see that the nose is broken, the breath is broken. Some temples escaped. But I've seen them in different temples when I travel in India. So we have to regain the power of women. As men, that's Oma and Maria, we have to serve women so that they can reinvent themselves and then serve us, because we need them. That is why we always gravitate towards the yoni or the breast, because these are the two power centers of women. But to actually enjoy a woman within her full powers, she has to awaken all the goddesses within her. So how do we awaken the goddesses within her? One, you can do sadhana every day for the next few years until the energy actually permeates and re-empowers the womb. Two, those who have a partner who also is learning with me can sound the yoni. Now, why do you sound the yoni? Basically, you sound the yoni because all the goddesses are within there, starting with the pubic hair. So from the gateway, you have Chinnamasta in the pubic hair. On the right lip, you have Baglamukhi. On the left lip, you have Matangi. At the gateway, you have Naganandani, or the serpent goddess. That means at the entrance of the yoni. Naganandani and Kali. Why are they? Because they are only a few inches away from the Muladhara. There's another point why you're a carrier of energy, because your Muladhara is very close to your vagina. Unlike men, it's very far. So for men, the energy of Ida and Pingala travels from the perineum. For women, it's in either side of the yoni. So there's a whole lot of things that you have to understand about your body, about yourself, and why it's also important to keep your pubic hair fully. The pubic hair will be formed like a triangle. So those of you who like to look sexy in the beach and have very thin covering over your yoni, you tend to shave off the top. Okay, those who are keeping the pubic hair and then want to wear the type of really slim swimming suit, they shave part of the pubic hair. When you shave part of it, you also take away the energy of the triangle. It's a yantra, okay? Where your pubic hair is a yantra. So you have to make sure that you keep the power within. If you all have read Samson, you hear about the power of the hair. Same thing with the power in your... Everywhere, there are reasons why they were there. Nature is not crazy, okay? Nature has given us what we need. We are crazy to think that we can live without it. So let us reaffirm within ourselves that we want to clear and re-empower ourselves. We want to clear all the cellular memories that has been implanted in us basically by the environmental mental pollution every city has its own environmental mental pollution. That's why you find people in New York will behave in a certain way. People in Boston have a different, people in Maine are different because they even I think Texans are totally different. The way they speak, the language is different a bit. They speak English. The way they pronounce the words is a bit different. For me, I mean, like actually Australia is great, but I've been from Brisbane, which is, say, nearly the top of Australia, nearly halfway, to Perth, which is the other end. You find that every city you go into, they speak differently. Like Adelaide, they are more South Sea Poms. They speak like English people do. And Melbourne, a bit of it, but not totally. Sydney is really colloquial slang, very different. That's what I call environmental pollution. That programs the people in that area. Then you think, okay, how do I get rid of this environmental pollution? How do I become totally human? How do I reprogram my DNA? Very simple. Imara, can you tell me how it's done?
Okay, you program it every day by doing sitting in asana and performing your mantras.
Yeah, how do you perform your mantras?
You sit cross-legged in an upright position using the mudras to circulate the energy in your body. And then you start with the Ganesh mantra.
Okay, thank you. Now, to do mantras is very important, but the most important thing about doing mantras is to make sure that the sound travels down into your body where it's meant to go. You can't visualize the sound traveling to different parts. You can only manage your tone to make sure. Like, for instance, you want the tone to go to the third eye. You go, Oh is very short. Whereas you want like cream to go down to the Yoni or the lingam, and you go, cream. And you feel the energy going down there. Okay, so you have to make sure that the tone is right for the energy to move. So it's very important. Doing mantras is not about singing mantras. It's about toning. It's about frequency. So when you think in terms of the goddesses, okay, for men, it's very simple. Like if I want Bhuvaneswari in my heart, I go, Hrim, Shrim, Hrim, I'm Bhuvaneswari Swaha. So I send the energy to my heart straight. Say, I want to do Chinnamasta. With Chinnamasta, you need to send the energy Ida, Pingala, and Swasumna. All the three nadis. And then you got to bring them all back to the third eye. Because in one sense, she's also the controller of Ida and Pingala, which is basically for men in perineum, for women at the opening of the vagina. You take them down there, and then you bring them up back to the third eye. So you don't sing Om Shrim Hrim Hrim I'm Vajra Vairo Chini Hum Pat Swaha. No, you don't do that. That is singing. You do Om Shrim Hrim Hrim I'm Vajra Vairo Chini Hum Pat Swaha. Then you visualize your head being cut off, which means you visualize your ego. So you're first sending the energy down to go Ida, Pingala, and Swasumna, and then you bring all the energy back to the third eye, and then you do the Pat Swaha to get rid of your ego. She is very important. I mean, we've spoken about Mother Kali a lot, but now we're talking about Chinnamasta. You need Chinnamasta to get rid of your ego. The only thing that stands between you and your spirit is your ego. The ego limits you from getting access to your spirit. So you want to get rid of that. You want to get rid of the ego. You've got to rephrase that. Not get rid of the ego, but transform it into positive ego. Ego is always there. Even to know God is an ego. Okay? But there is positive ego and negative ego. When I want to hurt you, then it's negative ego. When I want to love you, it's the positive ego. Or basically not love you, to share my love with you. Because I can't give you anything. I can only share with you. And so can you. You can only share your love. You can't give your love because it can't be given away. Each one of us got to love ourselves. If you don't have love for yourself, you cannot love anyone. So here you find you have Bhuvaneswari that can help you do that. And the other one is Kamalamika. Why do we do Kamalamika mantra? Basically to find inner joy, inner prosperity. When we feel rich inside of us, everything works beautifully. Inner richness is most important. That is why we need Kamalamika. Where do you feel the inner richness? Basically in your heart chakra again, but you want the sound to also travel to your navel because that is your controlling center. Like a lot of people talk about controlling center is the heart, but it's not the heart. Okay? The heart is not the main center. The heart is the expression, how you express yourself. So the reason, again, we want Kamalamika is we want to feel inner prosperity. We want to enjoy being alive. A lot of Hindu paintings, if you find Lakshmi, which is similar to Kamalamika. You find money coming out of her hands. If God gives money to everyone, we'll all be very rich because we all have children. So why are there some people who are poor? Some people, even those people who pray, go to temple every week, every day, and pray to her, they still can't get money. Because money comes to you when you feel good. You have to attract wealth. She doesn't attract wealth to you, but she can make you attract wealth. When you feel good about yourself, when you are joyful personality, everybody likes you, opportunities come your way, and money comes your way as well. Success. If you are grumpy, moany, and not very happy, then nothing comes your way. So you got to get that happiness inside of you. The happy face got to be there. For that, Kamalamika, okay? Then when you do Kamalamika mantra, the sound has to travel to the heart chakra, but also reach the navel. So the M that you do has to be powerful, not that So you go Shreem Harim Shreem Kamalamika Swaha. So when I do the M, when I do the Shreem, Hreem, Shreem, Aim, it goes to my heart. But when I do the M, it goes down to my navel. Because I believe that the navel, your soul is near the navel, 2 inches below your navel. Okay, so that's where you want the sound to go to. In most of the mantras, when you do the M, you like the sound to go down there. Now we come to this, how do we help, as men, how do we help women increase their energy level so that they can be supportive to us? Now, the question again here is, the woman has to be also wanting it. If she says, oh, you sound me every time, if she demands, it doesn't work. I have students who have sounded their partner, but the partner was not giving back anything, wanting more and more. That doesn't work either. It has to be a dance between you and your partner. It has to be something that you desire most in your life, where you say, I want to be awakened. I want the divinity within me to be alive. I want to be a high priestess. At least, if you don't want to be a high priestess, at least become a living goddess on earth. You can be the living goddess on this earth. The starting point is doing 2 hours of sadhana every day, mantra sadhanas. Okay? You have to learn how to do mantras in such a way that it works on frequency base, not on nice tone. A lot of you, if you go on YouTube, you find a lot of mantras. Every mantra conceivable is available, but they all sing. You don't want that. That doesn't take you anywhere. Simple example. There's a lot of Brahmins in India who know everything upside down, every mantra upside down. They know the pronunciation to perfection, but they still do not have the energy that could make them become saints like all the old days saints became. All the saints that walked on earth did mantras, but they did it according to the frequency of the mantra. But before you can do mantras, mantra alone is not going to help, okay? You got to smile. You got to feel love. You got to have passion, desire to be winner. If you don't have the deep desire to be a living goddess, then it won't work. And for men to be God, if you don't have the deep desire, nothing happens. So desire is the most important thing. Desire can destroy you or desire can make you. Desiring for a new car, desiring for this, desiring for that, that would destroy you. But to desire to be God, goddess on earth, as what we were meant to be, to reclaim our birthright, being this divine soul that we are born to be. Because human birth is the highest. Of that, you women are the highest of high. Because you are born in the image of Mother of Creation. You have been born as the power that drives our society, the world. At the moment, are you really power? That's the question you ask yourself. Okay, it's being the power that's important. Being disciplined, honoring the space. You have to first desire to be here online every Saturday. Number 2, you have to have the discipline to sit straight, feel focused, and stay focused. That's all I ask you. I ask you to stay focused, be focused. The role of women in Tantra is a very interesting subject. So please do follow and click part 2. Thank you.